Hi, hello, my name is Tara Trotman and I'm a motherhood empowerment coach. I've been helping moms to rise through overwhelm, to rise through self-criticism and mom guilt. This is something that most women, not just mom, unfortunately hold because of society pressures and also cultural pressures. So I combine mindset techniques such as NLP and also yoga therapy. I work with energetics such as breath work and chakra balancing and EFT, emotional freedom techniques. I also introduce sound therapy to my work, and the most important component of my work is self-compassion. And this is what I am here today to share. So I would like to introduce you to the concept of self-compassion. Self-compassion, it's a valuable tool that it is indispensable really for our day-to-day life, especially women and moms. Why is it that we need self-compassion? It's because we have never been taught how to be kind to ourselves, unless you have had a fantastic mother that herself really embodied self-compassion. Unfortunately, we are most of society, competition and cultural and societal pressures do not really put much emphasis of what self-compassion is or how self-compassion can help our lives. So much research is being done at the moment, and it has been done for the past 10 years now on the benefits of the practice of self-compassion. Self-compassion is sometimes thought as a self-care practice, but today I'm going to show you that it's not just self-care. It's not just self-care is a component of it, but self-compassion is actually being able to cultivate kindness towards ourselves, to be able to treat ourselves like you treat your best friend or like you treat your child if you are a mom or a loved one. So with the same quality of unconditional love perhaps that we can share to our kids, we can also transmit this to ourselves. And it is challenging. It's not an easy practice because, as I previously mentioned, it's not something that we are taught. So I'm an advocate to teach this to young children, especially young girls, growing up with so much of social media pressure as well, that we should accept, self-acceptance comes in, and love ourselves just the way we are, without having to look for that love from other places. Once we start to learn this, and research has shown that actually brings a lot of resilience in our lives. So some of the misconceptions about self-compassion is that it will make us selfish or narcissistic. Other misconceptions are that perhaps we're going to be lacking in motivation, that grit that we had is going to diminish. Again, the research is showing otherwise. There is a lot of research going on, especially in the veteran community in America that are suffering with PTSD, that people that actually practice self-compassion as soon as they come back from the front lines, they actually do not develop PTSD, or if they do, it is very, very low comparing to people that do not practice self-compassion. So this is just one of the research that are coming out stronger about this practice. Now I know for myself, that's why I'm an advocate, that 15 years ago I was a different person with no practice of self-compassion. So self-compassion has given me a different way of living. It is an embodiment, and I can show this to my kids now, that it doesn't matter the mistakes that we make in life, because we do, or the inadequacies that sometimes we feel through in our lives. And it doesn't matter what life will throw at us, because it will happen at some point. We can hold our own backs, we can be kind to ourselves, and that gives us resilience to see anything as an event, and the relationship that we have towards that event or that circumstance can be accepted with love and kindness, and that we can actually be able to receive our own love in that moment of that really difficult time. What is it that you need? This is the question that I always teach my students. It's almost like our mantra. What do you need right now? And it's so simple, but at the same time very challenging for us to recognize, to allow, to investigate in our bodies what's going on, and to nurture. So this is an acronym that we always work with, which is very easy to remember. It's called RAIN: recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture, which is part of self-compassion. Now, self-compassion has three components. The first one is bringing mindfulness. And mindfulness is just the awareness that we are in that moment of difficulty. The awareness and acknowledgement that this is a difficult moment, whether it is inadequacy, whether it is health, or whether it is literally something of a survival. But yes, we need to acknowledge, we need to bring that awareness. Without it, then we will be, of course, in an automatic state that we don't even know what's going on in us. And that's the mindfulness part. The second component is the cultivation of kindness, which is what I teach my students, to be able to open our hearts to receive our own kind words. And we really practice a gesture. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but usually it's a hand on your heart. Again, this is research-based, that we activate our nervous system, and the brain releases chemical, which is more or less known as the hugging hormone, oxytocin, and it's something that really nurtures us, that really tells the nervous system and our brain and the whole, chemical system that we live in, that we're safe, that whatever is happening there, we can really nurture this moment. But it is all to do with the quality, with a touch, with a tenderness, like you would treat your best friend. And then we offer ourselves kind words, because this is something also that we will offer someone in distress. And this also has to come from a place of love, of kindness, of unconditional love, of yes, this is not a very good place to be. And can I actually hold myself? Can I actually be with this and love myself as I am, or as this moment is? And this is not going to be for long. Or even recognizing that nothing lasts forever. Everything is impermanent. So even moments of joy and happiness do not last for long. So this is another, understanding that even pain could be, physical pain could be something that it's very volatile, that might be present all the time for some people, but it has different, levels and different sensations in our body. So that's the second component. And the third component is what we call common humanity. And what does that mean is that the understanding and the knowledge that you're not alone in the moment of difficulty, of suffering, or of insecurities, or inadequacy, whatever it is that you're going through, you're not alone, because we all have a common humanity. We all share the same sort of insecurities, because we are humans. Whether we're female or male, we have the necessity to belong, and the necessity to be loved. So with the common humanity, we cultivate the knowledge that you are not alone in your suffering, that there's a lot of people out there that are suffering, perhaps not to the level that you are, but that they are sharing this in this moment. And that knowing that, you get out of perhaps that mindset that is very easy to get in, which is the, oh my God, I'm alone. And we become ruminating in our minds and getting into a rabbit hole of depression, really, loneliness, and why me, a victimhood. So there is so much to explore and to teach you right now, but of course I've only got a certain amount of time to do this. And before I go, I would like to share with you a short practice of self-compassion. What it is I will introduce every component that I just expressed in a practice, and it's very short, so we call this a landing, soft landing, and you can practice this at any moment. So, and you can make it as shorter as you can or as longer as you can if you have more time during the day. But a soft landing is something that you can practice throughout your day whenever you feel that you need to be loved, especially not by others, but when you notice that inner critic coming out and telling you not very nice and kind words. That's another thing that will work in self-compassion, bringing that inner ally instead of listening to our inner critic. So with that in mind, and for this season, bright season that is coming to us, I would like to share with you a practice of self-compassion to you all. And may your Christmas be bright, be healthy, be safe, and be with loved ones. So my intention is for you to find a comfortable place where you can be for a few moments. Perhaps if you have other things going on, a television on, just try to switch everything off. Of course, not this video, but find a place where you can feel comfortable and safe and not disturbed for a few minutes. And once you find that, find a seat. I'm sitting on a normal chair, but I will not go back and rest my back, because what we want is a straight, direct spine, but not too rigid. And we want our belly to be open and soft. Why is this? Because we want to be able to breathe fully with our diaphragm. A diaphragm is the biggest muscle in our body, and it is not utilized completely when we're breathing. And so my intention is to start this soft landing by inviting you to close your eyes with your feet on the floor and crossed and your hands placed on your lap. Now, if you find that you don't feel comfortable with your eyes closed, just lower your gaze. It's all about feeling safe. And just to start noticing. Notice how you're breathing and where you're breathing. Perhaps bringing all the senses to this moment. Notice what you're hearing besides my voice. Notice the temperature of your body, how you're holding space on your chair, feet on the floor, the weight of your body on your chair. And start to notice what's here for you today. What is presenting in this physical body for you today? Perhaps it's a thought, recurrent thoughts, a problem, a planning. This is our conceptual. Acknowledge that we're not resisting anything. We're just coming back to the body. The body has so much wisdom. So just bring that attention again and again to this physiology and just try to notice that you're breathing. Notice that each breath is different than the rest. Dropping inwards now. Dropping inwards. And see that communion between you and your body. And that it knows how to breathe. And I'm going to give you this practice slightly longer now that I have brought you into your inner being. And I want you to feel what you're feeling in your physiology. And if you are feeling perhaps a feeling that it's not comfortable, a judgment that is coming in, even to this practice of what you're doing right now, I just want you to hold this, to allow this to just be here. And so this is the first part, the mindfulness part. And if there's something that is not pleasant, let's allow this to be with kindness, with love, with compassion, with self-acceptance, that this is what it is in this moment. And once we have cultivated this awareness, we can bring that second component that I talked to you about, which is that gesture. So that's the invitation of your hand on your heart space. And if this feels difficult, challenging, or weird, perhaps just place your hand wherever it is that feels more comfortable, perhaps just on your legs or on a place of your body that hurts. And just notice that warmth of your hand on your heart. Notice that you can bring yourself some soothing with your hands. Notice also perhaps some judgment around this. But even just by bringing that hand, that warmth, that tenderness, the quality, the intention, you are activating your nervous system to a parasympathetic nervous system that tells your brain, that reptilian brain, that you're safe, that you can hold your own back. We can have a lovely soft front and be able to receive and give love. But we can have a strong back to hold ourselves in this moment of difficulties. And just breathing some love and kindness for yourself. Imagine that you're breathing in from your heart and bringing kindness and love to this moment, to either a moment of difficulty in your mind, in a problem or in a planning, or a moment of difficulty of an inner criticism, or a moment of difficulty on your physiology, whatever it is. Just bring that love, kindness, support like you would to a best friend, to your lovely child, to your pet. And just notice how it feels to hold yourself, to breathe love, to breathe self-acceptance, to breathe kindness. And then now I'm going to invite you to say some kind words the same way you would to a best friend or your child. What would you say when someone is in distress? Perhaps something like, I got you, I got your back. Or, I understand what you're going through. Or, I love you just the way you are. Or may I learn to love myself the way I am. And just notice how those words land on you. Whether you say them out loud or in your mind's eye. Just notice that your body, your physiology, your cells are actually really absorbing this. The quality, the tenderness. Just bathe on this love and this kindness. And after, we bring that third component of common humanity to know that you're not alone here, that there is out there a human condition that holds us in the same boat. No one is different. Nobody is. And just know that you're not alone. With that knowing, you belong somewhere. And just notice how you're breathing, perhaps. And with that, start to come back. And start to notice again how you're breathing and where. Perhaps your belly is expanding and contracting. Perhaps you're feeling heavier. Perhaps your facial muscles have relaxed a bit. Just notice all this. We are just in a seat of awareness of what's going on in our body. And with this, really, really lovely, coming back into this body, into this place that you're in your room. You start to bring all your senses outwards now. So smells, taste in your mouth, sounds inside or outside your room, temperature of your body, temperature of your ambience. And let the other strong sense, the sight, to come through. And welcome back. And I hope you enjoyed the soft landing. Much love to you all. And namaste. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. And take care. Much love.